Now, I'm not from New York, far from it. But I've been to New York a few times now. The more I go there, the more I realize that there's so many amazing free things to do in New York City. So here's my top guide on the best free things to do while visiting New York City. Now, New York is home to a lot of TV shows, which all need audiences to attend, laugh and applaud. I highly recommend you visit The View. It's probably one of the best TV audience experiences that you will ever have. Other shows that I recommend that you check out are The Late Shows with Trevor Noah, Steve Colbert and Jimmy Fallon. I've been to a few different shows now, but I most enjoyed The View out of all of them, with there just not being one host but multiple hosts. It was also very cool to see Whoopi Goldberg in person.
That's so sound the people.
Even when it's live, it's crazy.
Well, it is live, but at least
Feels like this always.
it always feels crazy. Okay, well there's the scoop, everybody. It always feels crazy.
Next up is Rockaway Beach. Now this is without a doubt the hidden gem of New York City. Possibly the best beach I've ever been to, with its clear sands and its blue skies and beautiful clean water. It's really easy to get to. You can either get the Rockaway Ferry from Lower Manhattan or either hop on the subway. And depending on what time of year you go to the beach, you may find that you have a large part of the beach to yourself, with the beach being over 170 acres. Next up is the Roosevelt Island tramway ride, which is a sky-high ride from the Upper East Side of Manhattan to Roosevelt Island. It gives you amazing views of New York City and the East River. Roosevelt Island is a pretty cool place to check out as well, with a really nice park with spectacular views of New York City. So definitely spend some time exploring the island while you're there as well. Now it's not exactly free. You will need a Metro card and it will cost you $2.75 if you don't already have an unlimited Metro card pass. Now, New York is one of the busiest and most crowded cities in the whole of North America, and possibly the world. You will especially feel this when you are in Manhattan. But little beknown to most people, there is a small island just off Lower Manhattan called Governor's Island. It's literally a few minutes boat ride away, and it's like a whole nother world. You can get the ferry to Governor's Island for free from 10 South Street in Lower Manhattan, and it's free before 12 o'clock on weekends and free coming back no matter which time you return. It's also a great spot for taking photos. It provides the best free view of the Statue of Liberty from land. The best free view of the Statue of Liberty is on the Staten Island Ferry, which is a free ferry from Manhattan to Staten Island, and it's the orange boat in the background right there. The Staten Island Ferry has been free since 1997, and it makes several round trips every single day between Staten Island and Manhattan. It also gives you amazing free views of the Statue of Liberty. Next up is free kayaking on the Hudson River, provided by the Downtown Boathouse Club and made possible by its volunteers and donors. head over to Pier 96 in Lower Manhattan and sign up and get started. It only happens between May and October each year, so be sure to check out the calendar on the Downtown Boathouse Club's website before heading down. The Bronx Zoo is not free every day, but it is free on Wednesdays. It's probably the best zoo I've ever been to. It has an amazing array of animals, both big and small. I don't think there is a zoo in the world that can compare to the Bronx Zoo, especially considering you can get in for free.
Whoa! 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 Ahí qué va a hacer ahora.
I highly recommend it as a great day out. It's also a reason to head out of the more common boroughs like Brooklyn and Manhattan and head over to the Bronx, which most tourists rarely ever go to. Welcome to Brooklyn, the home of the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge is without doubt the most famous bridge on the east coast of America. As its name suggests, it connects Manhattan to the borough of Brooklyn. The bridge also provides you with superb views of the Manhattan skyline, which simply cannot be matched at a cost of $0. Top tip, by the way, the Brooklyn Bridge is longer than most people expect, as it takes an average of 25 minutes to walk the bridge. It's Dumbo right now?
Yes.
Dumbo, okay.
The Dumbo, we're going to get lit. Ice cream. Some chocolate.
Next up is Dumbo. Dumbo stands for Down Under the Manhattan Bridge Overpass. Now, Dumbo is the area between the Manhattan Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge. In the 1970s, it was a really cheap area to live in, but now it's become one of New York's most desired neighborhoods. The neighborhood was previously called Fulton's Landing, but it was given the name Dumbo by its residents in the 1970s as a means to make it appear unattractive to property developers, as residents feared that property developers would come into the area and make it more expensive. The name change, however, did not work, and today Dumbo is one of New York's most desired neighborhoods. It's a great neighborhood to visit and chill out and relax in. It's also home to some of New York's very best pizzerias. Next up but not least is Times Square, the world's most popular intersection. In the 1980s, Times Square was notorious for crime, and it was described by the New York Times as the worst block in town. However, since then it's been transformed massively. Now it's the most popular tourist destination in the whole world, with over 131 million tourists visiting every year. Best of all, it's totally free. Next up is Central Park. Now, Central Park is one of those places in New York that you just have to visit, especially in the summertime.
Be happy. Don't worry, baby.
Courage, my lady. Courage.
Yes, please.
Don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble, but when you worry you make it double. Don't worry. In every life we have some trouble, but when you worry you make it double. Don't worry.
Next up is Coney Island. Coney Island is located in the borough of Brooklyn and it's home to the world famous Coney Island theme park. Now the rides in the theme park are not free, but Coney Island is still worth the visit as it's home to an amazing beach and a really great boardwalk. Next up is the New York High Line. The High Line is a former elevated train line track which has now been converted into a park which looks down upon the streets of New York City below. And that's a wrap for the very best 3 things to do while visiting New York City. If you have any other suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. And subscribe for more great videos.